Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 12 of the Starfall Collective, an actual live play D&D podcast played by me, your DM, Josh Suich, with my friends Matt Talamini, Sir Robert Burbridge, and his son Jacob, Dwight Canal, David Barrel, the left barrel. Guys, you want to say hey and introduce yourselves? Say who you are? I already said who you are, but you can put a face to the name.
Hey, I'm Dwight.
You can put a picture of, I don't know if that's Rembrandt. Is that a Rembrandt, Dwight?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, either way, tonight Dwight will be wearing a smart, medievalish red smock, apparently. Mr. Farrell, you want to say hey to the boys and girls at home?
Hi, I'm Matt.
Oh, chaos from the outset. Matt, do you want to steal David's name?
No.
A man of precision and principle. Matt, take it away.
My name is Matthew Talamini. I'm a writer of fiction and a web developer. I'm based in Providence, Rhode Island, and you can find my writing at MatthewTalamini.com. That is Matthew, TALAMINI.com.
All right, and Burbridges.
Actually, exact same as Matt for me, except my name is Sir Robert Burbridge and thefarce.net, and I am also not a occupationally thing what he said, and there's other details that are different.
How many silent Q's are in your name?
All of them.
No, there's at least one in Matt's name.
It just does double duty.
Ah.
It's like a crossword puzzle.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it is cross.
And Burbridge the Minor, though not lesser.
I am Jacob Burbridge, and that's all you need to know about me.
In fairness, he's right.
Good privacy makes for good friends.
You already know too much about me.
So when last we played, several things happened at the last moment, and choices were made and trajectories were taken. Does anyone feel particularly good or bad about the path that they have chosen heretofore?
Thak is definitely pretty nervous about being so deep underground and probably so lost. And also getting guided by just like the weirdest people, and just who knows what's going on here.
How's that freedom working out for you?
Oh, he didn't want to go here. Not feeling super free either.
So you've gone from relying upon the knowledge and good graces of a tree to some sort of weird frog person, outcast individual.
Yeah, I trusted the tree.
Probably
Real
does
down to earth kind of guy.
Tree was possessed of both.
Tree truster.
Down to earth kind of guy.
Get it?
What you did there, Matt. I see what you did there, Matt.
That wasn't even a joke.
Yes, it was.
Not with that attitude.
It was a cliche. Cliches aren't jokes.
All puns
Got
intended.
it. Got it.
Dad jokes are still jokes, Matt.
Fair enough.
You can't escape me.
Whales are just people without elbows.
All right.
I seem to
And
remember that the last thing Thak did was to just hurl Volas right into the gaping mouth of a teleportation frog.
you did indeed, and successfully. You Aikman'd him right into the gaping maw, and the frog promptly turned and launched itself through the aperture, disappearing on the heels of the first frog, which carried Harcourt. Harcourt and Volas, where are the two of you headed?
Up.
We are headed into a kind of magic effluvium, a volcanic sort of thing. Volas apparently has some kind of way of navigating that. Harcourt is going to take his life into his hands and jump up.
All right. Lovely. Which would the two of you like to flip for who goes first, or do either of you have a strong preference?
We're gonna go get our dice from the car. So why don't somebody else go first?
Okay, sounds good. So,
Nice.
gentlemen, the majority of the party majority, several medium-sized creatures, namely Thak, Tashash, and Mela, are all crammed into the mouth of a frog that is usually accustomed to carrying a single medium humanoid. Fortunately, this frog has extremely poofy, stretchable jowls, and so two of you are in Jowl Town, and one of you is wedged squarely on the tongue of this thing. It is quite a wild ride. You experience several stomach-wrenching twists and turns, and you feel, for those of you who are keenly sensitive, some of the similar sensations to the ones that you felt as you were traveling through those fey grass tunnels. And you are dumped out unceremoniously into a room that seems to be surrounded by several very odd-looking kind of statues that are covered in this extremely archaic armor, and they rot. They're putrid, and they seem to be filled with the moldering remains of kobolds. But you can see that in the core of these suits of armor with moldering remains, there are these large, jagged outcroppings of black crystal. Everybody make me an Arcana check and or simple perception check.
Let's see.
Okay.
Rolled an 11.
Here comes a
14.
perception check.
Perception at 14.
12.
Perception of 14.
16 perception for me.
16 perception for Dwight, for Mela, and Thak.
12.
12. Mela, with a 16, you recognize that these crystals appear, you got a very good look at them. You had some of them protruding from your hand. They have an extremely similar sheen and sort of depth of glossiness. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen black. Oh, shoot. I'm blanking on the rock. It's kind of like labradorite, but you see a deep arcane sheen to them. There's a depth to the color. It's not just black like onyx or obsidian. And Dwight, with a 16, did anybody make Arcana, or did you all make perception checks?
I did not make an Arcana.
Okay, you guys all chose to make perception checks? Okay. Yeah. So with a 16, you recognize that these crystals are very similar. And the frog promptly turns and leaps back into the aperture that it had just come out of after spitting you onto the ground. What's that?
The one that brought us?
The one that brought you. So you are now covered in a extremely viscous and slippery mucus, and are kind of spilled out on the ground, unless anybody wants to try to make a acrobatics check to try to land on their feet.
Definitely. That's all I'm good at in life.
You're going to make it with disadvantage because you're covered in viscous mucus.
Well,
Yeah, Thak lands on his butt.
I rolled great numbers. 20.
I got an 8.
All right. In spite of your tail, you and Thak are on your butts together, and Mela still managed to pull out a 20 with disadvantage.
Yep.
Wow. So Mela lands on his feet. He's
Not
now
a natural 20.
That's okay. He's currently kind of surfing in place with his feet slipping beneath him, and he's now kind of about an inch every couple of seconds sliding down the slight gradient of the smooth stone floor.
Can I pick up my friends?
Okay. As you go to pick them up, you hear the sound of arcane energies rising in the cores of the half dozen of these moldering suits of armor around you. And you guys all see the heads kind of with like jerky clockwork begin to twitch. And you see arms beginning to flex and shudder. And then you notice a blackish, purplish energy of light begin to swell in the middle of each of these bodies.
Can I kick one?
You can absolutely do that.
Thack is
I kick one.
All right.
Nah, I'm gonna
before even
take my
standing up.
shillelagh and double hand him.
Before Thack even stands up, he is wiping off his guitar. He is wiping the gunk off of his guitar.
Excellent. What good man. Good man. Do you want to make me a sleight of hand check to try to
do it quickly?
To do it quickly and effectively.
Okay.
Can I cast?
8.
I don't cast.
Yeah, it's still kind of mucky and mucusy, but you've made a little bit of progress.
My two-handed shillelagh strike is a 23.
You hit one.
Oh.
Nice.
Can I? I'd like to cast Protection from Good and Evil on whichever of these two good fellows is closest to me.
Well, apparently that is Thack, because Mela has jumped up and run over to one of these things and has whacked it with a shillelagh.
For 8.
And how much damage?
8.
Okay. Lovely. And with that, you make me a dexterity saving throw as a burst of necrotic energy comes blasting outwards from a piece of crystal that you have shattered.
Ooh.
Ouch.
17.
That is sufficient. You do a matrix and lean backwards and arc your head back, and you see this wave of energy go dissipating outwards from you. It's traveling out in the direction of Thack and Tashash, but it appears to dissipate before it gets to them. Everybody, roll initiative as
Right.
Mela has dealt the first blow.
Matt.
Yeah.
You have so aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead roll disadvantage when they attack you, and you cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
Nice.
Just an FYI. Initiative.
21.
Oh, hey. Look at that. I got an 8.
Okay.
Because I'm slow.
Let's see. Thack is looking at a 11.
Excellent. With that, all of the eyes of these things open and are glowing with this black purple kind of UV looking light, and all of the cores of all 6 of these things are now glowing completely. One of them is just a little bit dimmer, namely the one that Mela struck. Hang on just one second.
A little bit dimmer?
What kind of protection is it that I have, Dave? They have disadvantage against me, on me?
Yeah, they have disadvantage to attacks against you, and they cannot charm, charm, frighten, or possess you.
Nice.
This is all those weird creature types:
can add
aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
All right, Mela, what do you do?
Is this like the top of an action, or is this?
This is the top of the round.
Okay, well then I'll. And that one seems to still be moving, alive.
Still seems to be functional.
Okay, well then I will strike it with my shillelagh again.
Do it.
Oof, not as good. 6 plus 8 is 14.
That does not hit.
Okay, well I get 2 attacks per action, so I will hit it again. 20.
That hits.
Okay. Do. Roll the damage. Oh man. Wait, does 20 double damage?
If you roll a natural 20,
Oh,
then
natural.
you roll a natural 20, then you roll your damage die twice.
Okay. So just 6 damage for the second.
Okay. Excellent. Another, where do you hit it?
Right in the crystals.
Okay. Another wave of necrotic energy comes blasting out towards you. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Do I get advantage since I know it's coming?
You do not.
But I
More a matter of physical dexterity. It's coming out at a random angle. It's
another
not
20.
another 20. You similarly duck to the side and it blasts away and past you. Thack, what do you do?
Whoa! Thack! What about
Do you
me?
have more actions, Mela?
I would like to take my my flurry of blows bonus action and strike again.
These monks.
Oh man,
Moving on.
a semi-physical angelic type being shows up and apologizes to you that fate and the universe nearly deprived you of your birthright as a monk, and waves in a please go ahead gesture to you to strike him, and then disappears.
Also, one note, I don't know if you know this, I didn't know this until I looked in some random note on my character, but my physical damage also counts as
magical for the purposes of overcoming magic damage reduction. Or
okay, you got that. Nice.
You're
cool.
Good.
Here comes a flurry of blows. So this, I can't use my shillelagh in it. It's like an unarmed strike, but
okay.
Cool. It's cool. Oh man. Just 12.
A 12. Nope, a 12 does not hit.
Okay. Just a second. What is that? Is it another 2 or is it flurry of blows? Bonus action. Flurry of blows. No, it's
its own thing, I think.
Oh wait, no. Flurry of blows. So I get 3 for free or 4 for a key point.
Mm-hmm.
So I will
spend a key point and attack again, or hold off.
Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of key points. Might as well. Here we go. Come on, baby. There we go. 27.
That's a hit. And the most palpable one.
1 away from getting to roll 2 damage dice. Dang it. Oh, but not, it's a 6, not an 8. I almost rolled an 8. That would have been cheating.
It would have been.
But I got a 6, so that's 11 damage.
Excellent. The core of this thing cracks and implodes. Make me a strength saving throw as you feel a rushing wind sucking inwards.
Strength. I'm not good at that. Just +5 at strength. 16. 16
is sufficient. You stave off the suction of the implosion. Tashash.
Wait, I thought I was back.
I'm just trying to skip somebody. It's not really turn order unless somebody gets skipped.
And when I get skipped, only half of me gets skipped because half of my turn is worth a whole turn.
All right, Thack.
So Thack is currently sitting, right?
He is.
I tried to help you up, but
yeah. So Thack stands up, so that's going to be half of his movement, I think, right?
Yep.
And I guess if I cannot, like, it seems like Yeah, so Thak's priority is to get his guitar cleaned off. Although
Okay.
he can cast his spells without it. He doesn't usually.
He
And
does not do that.
in this instance, like Mel is up there punching stuff a bunch, and it's he's back. He's not in immediate danger, so he's gonna continue wiping off his guitar. Just gonna take his turn to get it so that he can actually play it, as in order to do his spells. And while he's doing that, he wants to look around and get the lay of the land a little bit.
Make me an Arcana check.
Here it comes. That's going to be a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You realize that if you just put a significant amount of power through this instrument, you can blast off any crud that's on here, like gunning it and blasting the carbon out of the cylinder heads. So it's up to you. You can either wipe it lovingly and gently, or you can crank it and blast it off.
Oh, well, I mean, if Thak realizes that that's an option, there's only one way to go.
All right. It occurs to you.
There's only one way Gruumsh would have that go. So
Yeah,
in that
but what
case,
about Jab?
Chab would probably like be drinking a soda pop in a Barcalanger right now
And play dirty.
instead of fighting, and his guitar would be filthy. Looking around, are these beings, have any of them actually begun to stir yet, or it's just Mela has started thwacking away at one of them and they haven't even moved yet? But
not only have they all stirred, they all appear to be powered on and awake and aware of what's happening.
But the one that Mela was hitting was like blasting out this same kind of dangerous necrotic energy that we've seen before from zombie stuff, right?
Very similar. You get a similar vibe. It wasn't exactly the same. It wasn't that black spastic ichor, but it does appear to have kind of a similar color signature and feel.
Okay. Are there any of them within, like, how many of them can I hit with a 10-foot radius sphere?
You could get 3 of them. If you do it in the corner, you could get 4.
Thak is going to try and get 4 of them in the corner with a 10-foot radius sphere of his shatter. So that's going to be, they have to do a DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Two of them fail. So 2 of them cross their bracers over their chest reflexively, and 2 of them are you just catch them off guard, and your wave of arcane energy just blasts into them.
All right, so here comes 3d8s for the ones that do not dodge, and the ones that do dodge take half of that. So that's going to be 12.
12 for full-on damage?
12 for full-on damage, 6 for otherwise.
Okay. Excellent. They do not react in any kind of emotional, organic way. They just get blasted, and that's it.
So so Thak is still has 15 feet of walking speed left in this turn.
Yes.
Can he is there any way that I can, like, how far away am I from where these things are and where all this is happening?
You are in a sort of, if the room is a square, then there's a bit of a alcove to the room that's about a maybe 5 to 10 foot diameter, and it's a little hemisphere. You guys are all dumped out into that, and then these guys are lining it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay. So I'm going to treat as far back into the hemisphere as I can. as long as I'm still within 60 feet of the the closest of the bad guys.
This ain't a big room. As you back up, you begin to feel the hair on the back of your neck get raised, and you begin to feel this kind of weird kind of disorientation. Your nose begins to run, your eyes begin to water as you get really close to a very, very powerful arcane field.
I don't want to go into that. Stay out of this thing. But I do want to stay like back away from the fray and let Mela and Tashash go forward.
Okay.
I can.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I used my action.
That's how you do it.
Tashash, what do you do?
Oh no, I'm kind of wishing I'd cast that spell on myself.
Careful, you'll be hiding in the corner for the rest of the combat.
I wouldn't be the first time. Well, I'm going to use, what is that thing? I don't know, I guess just targeting the whichever one's closest to me. I'm going to use Slayer's Prey.
Okay.
To target it.
That's probably the one straight across from. It's probably the one straight across from you, and just to the right of Mela. And that one has been harmed. The ones on the outside appear to be the least harmed.
I'm gonna no, okay. I want to go for one of the ones that's been least harmed.
Okay, so that would be the one immediately to the left of the one that Mela has attacked.
Sure. So I use Slayer's Prey on that. That's my bonus action. And then I will move in and go to town.
Okay.
So I think the way this works is I've got dual attacks.
Okay.
So for my remaining action, I'll attack.
For your primary action.
Attack.
Yep.
And then I get an extra attack. So basically it's three sword strikes.
Okay.
I think. Is how that works.
Didn't you already use your bonus action?
I have
Slayer's Prey.
Yeah, but I have both dual wielding and
dual wielding usually uses your bonus action.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does. So you've got your primary attack and your extra attack.
But I think your primary attack gives you two attacks. Your action gives you 2 attacks, I think, right?
Yeah, within his standard action, he gets an extra attack.
To the damage of the second attack. Oh, okay. Right. So extra attack is just an you can attack twice when you take the attack action on your turn. Okay.
So you can do that.
So I get 2 swings.
That's right.
Okay. So I will swing first swing.
To dodge.
Yep. That's great. It's a 13.
That does not hit. You see that these things are wearing. Make me a. Well, you probably couldn't even do this. They're wearing this very weird, old-looking armor.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it appears to be made of large, heavy plates of sections of armor.
Second attack. Come on. Wow. Nope. Whole lot of nope.
Okay. Okay. But you have marked one of them.
I will hit something.
Okay. So this one that is in front of you, Tashash, it's both of its hands appear to have large jagged claws on the fingers, and each of those hands goes swinging at you. But I bet that a 13 probably does not hit.
Nope.
Okay.
It's against my armor class, right?
Correct. And the other one is even less. Mela, 2 of them step over towards you and does a 16 and a 19 Do either of those hit?
19 hits.
The 19 hits. All right. And you feel these these claws slash into you for 5 points of damage.
Ouch. 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 What? It only gave me 4. There we go.
Yep.
5.
Thack, one of them comes charging towards you.
Whoa.
Ruh-roh, and swipes at you kind of wildly.
It doesn't have to go through. It doesn't have to get a opportunity attack from Dwight or from Tashash as it runs past them.
Mela, yes, Mela would have an opportunity attack as
one of them
comes towards him.
Yeah, buddy. 18 plus 8 is 26.
That's a hit, is what that is.
Okay. I cannot read that dice. What does it say? 3 plus 5. 8 damage.
Okay. All right. And it comes running up to you, Thack, having been kicked as it goes by, but it does still manage.
I took my shillelagh and stuck it between its legs, so it really barked its shin.
It now has a really nasty contusion on one of its shins, but still manages to hurt you, Thack, for 6 points of damage.
Wait. Doesn't it have to roll an attack against my armor class?
It did. It rolled utter crap for all of them, except for one that was in the mid-20s.
Nice. And how many points do I take?
6 points of damage.
Ouch.
Another one comes rushing over towards you, Thack, and gangs up on you. All of your meat shields have abandoned you to go pick off individual ones. And this one swings at you, but again, it manages to swing at you for 14, 16, and 18. Which of those hit?
All of those are going to hit.
All of them.
Is it rolling at disadvantage?
It is not.
So what kind of creature is it?
Say what?
Dave, read the list of things that have to roll with disadvantage against me.
Oh, okay. Because of the protection.
Aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
It's not any of those?
Wait a minute. Let me put some base in it. Okay, does a 14 hit you?
A 14 does hit me.
Okay, then keep the damage that you already took. No, their claws begin swinging at you, and you see them. The first one hits you, but then you see this energy rise up from your skin and form this sort of semi-translucent arcane barrier over you. Wherever the claws come down, you see the claws just graze off of this arcane shield that has risen up out of your very skin. And the claws just bounce and rake, and you see them. One of them throws back its head and screams with anger, with a guttural saurian scream.
I like that sound.
Mela, it is your turn.
What's left? How many things are alive?
There is one that is completely dead in front of you. There are three to your right that all appear to be quite damaged. You've got a fighting chance of walking down the line and killing all three of them. And then the one that's in front of Tashash is still at full strength, and the one that is over Thack and farthest away from you is not too hurt.
Okay, well, I'm going to go for the 3 guys.
The third of those 3 is also over Thack, but it is closest to you. So go for it.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but I'm swinging at one of them.
All right. Swing at the first.
I miss. It's a 3 plus an 8. 11.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Okay, swinging at the first one again. Dang it. There we go. 19.
That hits.
Okay. 7 plus 5 is whatever 7 plus 5 is. 12.
Enough is what that is.
Nice.
This one also similarly implodes. Make me a strength saving throw as you get sucked towards this thing.
It's only a 23.
Only a 23. The rushing vacuum rips around your clothes that all whip with gale force strength, and you do not move like a mighty oak.
Can I actually kind of catch a little of the vortex and move closer to the next?
Sure, you do. You actually slingshot around it and go flying towards. Do you want to attack the other one that is kind of closest to you, or the one that's nearer to Thack?
Which one looks wussiest?
The one that is beating up on Thack appears to be slightly more damaged if you had an extremely keen eye.
Okay, well, I do, and I attack him.
I do.
They call me Keen Eye.
Mela Keen Eye. Oh, man. 11.
All right. Well, you managed to punch it and exfoliate it in the back, but nothing more.
Okay, well, last attack. Nice. I seem to either roll really low, really high. What is that?
So you're spending a key point for a fourth attack?
Yeah, 24.
Okay. That hits.
And how much damage does it do? 10 damage.
Put him in the body bag, Johnny!
So do I need to dodge or not dodge? But
how much damage did you do?
10 damage.
10. And that is enough. You do. This one, Thack, you also need to make a strength saving throw as you feel your body being dragged forwards along the slippery ground into this vacuum of arcane energy that is sucking you towards this creature that was hovering over you and was attacking you. That your compatriot has come up behind you and punched.
I rolled
14.
That's enough. Mello, what was yours?
19.
19. You guys both hold your ground. Fact, there's only one more hovering over you, and Mello, there is one kind of just over your shoulder behind you. You didn't leave his area of threat, so he didn't get an opportunity of attack on you. And to Shosh, there's still one over you. Thack, it is your turn. There is still one over you.
And Mela is pretty close by to me?
He is next to you.
Okay. I say, well, fair enough. And draw my rapier, which is actually not a rapier, but a longsword. I don't have a rapier. I have the awesome wakizashi from my super cool friend from hell. And I take a swing with that at the one that's close to me.
Okay.
And that is going to be...
it's a +1 weapon, so you're going to have one more to hit
I've
and
got
damage.
it in my thing.
Right.
It's going to be a roll of 4 plus 7. So 11, and I'm guessing that I miss.
No, it grinds off of one of the plates, but it does create this gnarly kind of black light burning set of sparks as it scores across the armor.
Cool.
And that's it. You just get the one attack?
Yeah, I don't want to draw an opportunity attack, so I'm not going to change my position.
Okay. To Shosh, you have Slayer's Prey on your quarry before you and a bonus action to use.
So that's 3 swings.
3 attacks.
All right, let's do it. Here's the first. That's 15.
Man, almost. You stab down towards it, but at the last second it kind of turns and it jams on the edge of some armor plates.
Next swing. That's better. It's 22.
That hits.
Okay, so I get the So Slayer's Prey gives me 1d. Well, that's not 1d6. And my weapon is 1d6 plus 2. Okay, so that is 8 damage.
Okay, what kind of weapon are you using?
Short sword.
Your short sword. Excellent.
Yep. It's piercing. And then my next attack. That's pretty good. 23.
That hits.
And that one does 4.
Okay. Excellent. You stab into this thing, and in both places, you see a certain amount of necrotic energy come kind of puffing and spraying out. It doesn't hit you or anything, but you see it beginning to ooze out this undead unlife, this black purplish glowing ichor that seeps from its body.
Gross.
The thing that's in front of you, Tashash, appears to be significantly weakened by the places where you've punctured it and drained the life out of it. So it does attack you, but it seems to have lost a great deal of strength in the arm that it goes to swing at you with on that side. And then the other one does a 13 hit your armor class?
Nope.
Okay, yeah. So you appear to have severely depleted it of its vigor as its claws just kind of scrape off of your scales. Mela, one turns towards you, and it's got. Do you have that spell on you, or Thak? Did you put it? You put it on Thak. These things can attack Mela without any impediment, right? There's nothing preventing it from attacking Mela.
Walked up to me.
There's one that's already right on top of you. And for 20-something, it swings down on you, and you take 8 points of damage as this claw shreds into you.
Ha ha ha.
You laugh. And then Thak, the one that is over you, its claws again begin scraping over you. One of them, you see it just come straight down, and it looks like it's going to pierce your heart. And you see the point of its claws stab right down onto your rib cage, and you feel this barrier holding the claw, and you see it furious. And similarly, the other one comes down and it slashes at your face, and it just kind of scrapes over your face an inch away from your flesh. Mela, what do you do?
So what's left? There's like one close to me and one far away.
Tashash is still fighting with one-on-one. You have one that you are kind of hitting from behind. It is over Thak. Or it is facing. No, sorry. There is one that is facing you, between you and Thak, kind of slightly off to the center. And then there's one that's over Thak.
Hit him.
The one that's between the two of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
14.
No, that's not enough. Your punch slams into one of the plates of armor, and you hear a boom.
Boo, 11.
Your foot comes up and cracks into the side of his breastplate.
I will hit him again.
Nice,
natural 20.
Nice.
So that's here we go. It's a 28 if you want the real number. 8 plus 5 is some number of numbers. 13.
Overkill is what that number is. You spin around, and with the back of your heel, you just take his head off of his shoulders, and you see the corpse fall over backwards and slam into the ground and crack and hiss energy out and away.
Nice. I would then like to. No, never mind. I can't do that.
Okay.
I keep wanting. I have this power that lets me. What's it called? Open hand technique. I need to hit someone with flurry of blows and not kill them. Can't do it.
I'm just so deadly.
And I have to remember also. I think I've done that a few times and then forgot.
Yeah. All right. Thack, Thunderer.
The one that is facing me, that's
dead.
been attacking me. How does it look?
Pretty hale, unfortunately.
What?
Okay,
I
so
thought I
here's what I'm.
killed it.
No, there's two. You
Oh.
killed one of the ones.
I've killed 2 near you.
There's one that has literally, for the last few rounds, just literally been leaning over Thack, just.
So there were
and its claws
3
are just
of
slamming
that.
into him.
Hello?
What?
Dwight came over. Dwight, in his
I've
mind.
killed 2 near Thack.
That's right. There were 3.
Okay, I got it.
So, what I'm going to do is without. Well, tell me if I can do this, Mr. DM, without ever leaving the zone that's close to the guy, my foe, such that I would draw an opportunity attack. I want to circle around behind him.
Yeah, you can try to move around behind him, or you can move around to the other side of Mela.
Here's my other question. There's a hole behind me, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, you can't get behind him, but you could go to around 90 degrees.
Wait, so in my mind, I had backed up to this hole, and I was
Sure.
facing into the room with the hole behind me, and this guy
Correct.
is in front of me.
Correct.
So I want to make it so that he's in between me and the hole.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. It's your party member who can just, you can nudge him out of the way.
Okay. So I do that, and then I want to, this is only going to work. Yeah, so I'm going to attack him, and I don't get anything special from like attacking him from behind or anything. He knows I'm there. He probably turns to face me as I circle around him. But I'm going to make a weapon attack.
Okay.
I can't do it. This is.
I thought you were going to thunder wave him into the portal.
Does Thunderwave do that?
You've got some spell that
I don't
blasts
have thunder.
people 10
DM
feet.
just said you could do it, so you should do it.
I have Thunder Clap, and it doesn't.
Thunderclap.
It doesn't
Gotcha.
push anybody anywhere. Thunder Wave would.
Gotcha. Okay.
What I was trying to do was Mobile Flourish, which would push him. Which would push him 5 plus 1d8 feet, but I have to hit with an attack first, and an attack roll of 10 is unlikely to hit him.
Okay. Well, did you do it with advantage because you have an ally parallel engaging him in melee combat?
If you want to give me advantage, I'm not going to turn it down.
I'm not giving it to you. It's what you have. Mela is attacking this guy and is in melee threat range of him.
Interesting. I didn't know that rule.
Yeah, if you've got a party member providing threat to somebody, you can get advantage. You can at my table. At my table, everyone has advantage.
I'm gonna look that up. That's
Don't worry. Cool. It's in my rule book here.
Makes sense.
In that case, my roll is going to be 6 plus 7 equals 13. Probably still not good enough.
Nope, still not good enough though. Okay.
I'm rolling really bad with these sword attacks. Thack is getting frustrated.
Tashash, you've got Slayer's Prey on this fool, and he has mocked you long enough. Finish him.
I'm gonna Slayer's Prey this fool. So 3 swings, first attack is not very good. That's a 12.
Nope.
Wow, that's a 1.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm not going to make you like drop your weapon or anything, but it parries the blow and it goes flying off, and you take 2 hit points of damage as it slashes into your knee.
Ow. Okay.
Oh, actually, sorry, I didn't roll for that. Ah! You take 6 points of damage as it slams deep into the flesh of your leg.
That's great. All right, third attack. Okay. Not much better. That's 14.
No, these guys have very high armor class. That final blow clangs off again. It tries to deal back to you as you gave it. And unfortunately, it goes to fling its arm at you, and its arm kind of overextends, and you see something pop, and its arm comes flying out and goes flying across the room and skitters into the corner. And it looks over at its arm, and it looks up at you.
Missile?
What's that?
Can I catch that?
If you want to make me a dexterity saving throw, you can try to catch it.
Do want to do that? Why?
Actually, sorry, sleight of hand. Make me a sleight of hand check.
What? No, I like dexterity better.
Nope. Make me a sleight of hand check.
So the thing I'm trying to use is deflect missiles. You can use your reaction to deflect or catch the missile when you're hit by I have to be hit. So if you let me do sleight of hand, I'll do
hang on. It's all in the dice.
These dice don't lice.
It goes flying at your head.
Nice. So I try to catch it.
Yes. The higher the number, the more at you it was flying, and it rolled a 19. It might have missed your head, but it was going definitely right in your very direction, enough that you can make a deflect distance check.
So I roll a 1d10. What does a d10 look like?
It's
like a little d20.
Imagine a dreidel.
Oh yeah.
Very
I got
fat.
that one. There we go. I see it.
the one that looks like a little D20 is a D12.
Right. Yes.
It looks the most like a flying saucer.
Okay, so it's 1d10 plus 11, and if I reduce it to 0, I can spend a key point to make a ranged attack with it.
Okay. It was coming at you for 3 hit points worth of damage, so you got to beat a 3.
It's already, it's plus 11, so.
Oh, okay.
So I reduce it by 20 points.
Okay, you reduce it to negative 17 points.
Nice. And so then I will spend a key point to throw it back at him.
Okay.
It says with a range of 20/60. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Is it within those ranges?
It's within those parameters.
Okay. So where's my key points? I need to check them all. So what do I roll here? I don't.
Roll me a ranged attack.
As with a monk weapon. So, what am I rolling? Oh, D20 and it plus 8.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 19.
That's enough.
An arm is an improvised weapon.
So then,
I'm going to say that because he's doing all this magically with his monk abilities, I'm going to let him treat this as an actual dangerous weapon, and we're going to call this a D6.
D6?
Do I get my
for a severed arm?
For a severed arm, just for the theatrical possibility of what might happen.
It's a very sharp severed arm.
So I rolled.
Listen, I've done terrible things to you guys on a 1. This guy rolled a 1 and lost his arm, and then I rolled a 19 for it to go straight at Mella's head. So yeah, I'm going to give Mella the opportunity to kill this guy with his own arm, not on Mella's turn.
So I rolled a 1.
A 1 for your on the
I don't know
D6.
if I add my plus 5 or not, but
you have a plus 5 in dexterity?
no, well, my damage as with the monk weapon is like a 1d6 plus 5.
Okay, so you did 6 points total. Okay, so this arm, this thing goes to slash at Tashash, and its arm just kind of the plate armor comes up and severs the tendons, and the arm goes flying straight at Mella's head. Mella snatches it, whips it around, throws it, and it spears into this thing's head.
Yeah,
and you
picture
see
a
it kind of staggering
hammer
there.
from the Olympics.
Yeah, Tashash, make me an attack on this guy. Because he's just standing there staggering backwards on his feet.
Just normal? Okay.
Just make me a straight up weapon attack on him.
Hey, look at that. It's a 14.
Yeah, it clangs off of his armor. Man, this guy's armor is really giving you the business.
More like my dice rolls are.
Mella, there is one that is hovered over
Business.
your orc bard. Your orc bard is no longer prone and he's standing up, so that's not true. I lied. That was the past. This is now. We don't live in the past. We don't let it define us.
So do I attack him with advantage since the bard is also attacking? Hello?
Sorry about that. Say that one more time.
Do I attack him with advantage since Thack is also attacking him?
Yes, the two of you have ganged up on him.
Nice. Get him down. 18.
That hits.
Okay. Now, where's that dice? There it is. I have this one dice, and it has like dark sides that are hard to read and light sides that are easy to read. Okay, so 8 damage.
All right. That's excellent. You bloody him. You see when you go to punch him, you see a number of these crystals crack and burst open. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
17.
That is sufficient. You may attack him again.
For Thack.
No, this one went in the direction of Mella.
Okay.
It's facing him. He punched it.
Natural 20.
All right. What does it look like when you end this fool? Forgo the die rolls and instead paint me a picture.
I secretly wish that I hadn't ended him so I could use my open hand technique, which has never been used. But since he does die, I get so angry that I kick him a couple extra times as he falls.
And he falls back into the hole?
Yes, and kick him straight into the hole.
When he falls into the hole, Thack says, I was going to do that. That's what I was going to do. That's my move. You're going to take my move.
Oh, man. You see his body hit the edge of the portal, and you see it twist and begin to spin and kind of skitter. And you see that for a split second, it looks like the hole's going to throw him out because he hits, goes in, rebounds out, and then goes slingshotting into it. And you see this weird kind of aura cloud thing comes spewing outwards, and it waves over the two of you. And you are both dazed for a couple of rounds. Fortunately for you, there's only one other bad guy in here. Thack, it is your turn. You are kind of, your vision is a little bit blurry and your head is swimming just a little bit. You can do something, but it might be kind of difficult to pull off. You see over in the corner, Tashash is locked in combat with the last of these things. Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Here it comes. Ooh. 6.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
So
thanks.
Seeing that his guy has been vanquished and that there's still some combat left to do, Thack is gonna just charge with his longsword, like right over to the final one, and if he can get there in time, take a swing at it.
Go for it. You're going to make me this attack with disadvantage because of the blast of arcane energy that has just addled your brain.
Very good.
But you can make this attack.
So that's going to be, I rolled an 11 and an 18, so 11 plus 7 is 18 to attack.
And that's enough.
And so here is going to be...
Which weapon are you attacking him with?
Longsword, the cool Hell Wakizashi.
All right.
So,
a Brexalor's gift.
It's going to be 1d8 plus 6. So that's 11 damage it takes.
Excellent. Not only do you kill him, but you begin to cut through him. And as the blade severs in, you begin to slice downwards like you're cutting through paper or butter or something. But there's just something giving a little bit of resistance and slowing it. But it's not this thing. And as you sever and slice it open, you see this portal open up in the center of it. And you see a vision. You're looking kind of like into a room. And in this room, you see this giant swirling chamber of arcane energy. And it looks to be pretty massive. And down towards the bottom of this giant sphere, which looks to be maybe like 40, 50 feet, 60 feet in diameter. At the bottom of it, you see two humanoid figures. Make me an arcana check.
Not Thak's strong suit, but let's go. That's going to be an 18.
Nice. That is enough. You realize that you are basically holding a portal open with your blade. You have basically stabbed straight through the core with an 18. You've stabbed through this thing to the heart of its source power. And as you've slashed open, you've just cut through whatever it is that's connecting it. And you're now looking into this room. And you see, looking up at you, I'm going to consult my notes here. You see a small humanoid figure and a small medium humanoid figure. You realize what you thought were medium, they're actually small. One of them is a dark gnome and the other one is a kobold, and they both look up at you with shock and anger and confusion, and then they look at each other and you see them begin pointing at people and crying out to each other. What languages do you guys all speak?
Common, Elvish, and Draconic.
Okay.
Common and Orcish.
Okay. Tashash, you understand the kobold. You see him point his finger and he says, "Raise the troops and rise and send them to the Four Corners. Guard the entrances."
So he heard that coming up out of this portal that I opened in my foe?
Yeah, he's right next to you, right at your shoulder, looking into this as well. Make me another Arcana check.
Here we go. 15.
You are holding this portal open. You can say something awesome. You can cast a spell. What do you want to do?
Can I? Well, wait.
I say, guys, I opened some kind of portal somehow. I don't know what's going on, but there's people in there.
Can I chuck a javelin through it?
Can you chuck a javelin through it? You absolutely can.
Okay. I'll chuck a javelin.
Successfully cut it open, widened it, and stabilized it.
I'm going to chuck a javelin at that kobold.
Do it.
Okay.
Don't just talk about it. Do it. Do it with advantage because you're attacking him from above.
Oh, thanks. We'll just pretend that last roll didn't happen.
Well, you never know.
That one. Okay, here we go. That is. Let me just double check. Javelin. That's a 17.
Please tell me you threw one of your special javelins at him.
Please. Has the magic stuff on it.
That's right. You want to throw one of the nasty ones at him?
Can't. Yeah, sure, if I can.
You can, absolutely. You've got these on your back, and I know you don't usually use them, so we'll say you've been saving this one for a special occasion. Roll me a D8 for damage for this thing as it's tipped with these jagged spines and barbs. And then I will roll for him to see if he can withstand the special sauce that you put on the tip of it.
So it's not, my javelin is normally 1d6 plus 1, so should I do 1d8 plus 1?
Yes.
Okay, oops, that's a d10. d8. Okay. That is an 8.
Excellent. You see, this thing just skewers right into this thing's chest, and it takes him down to the ground. It takes him down to one knee, and he looks up at you, and he grips the end of it, and he pulls it out and throws it down, and you see him slap a hand over his chest, and you see him. And you see this black purple light glowing out of his hand as he closes up the wound, and he points a finger up at you and in Draconic says, "I will consume your soul."
Can I hit him with another?
If Thack gets a turn.
Yeah, I guess we're kind of in order here, so we're going round robin. Thack, your turn.
Thack is holding his sword, so he can't really make he can't throw anything down there, but he does launch down a nice vicious mockery.
Nice.
He says, "Hey, you idiot, I don't know what's going on, but you stink. I don't know why my buddy just threw a spear at you, but you're absolutely the worst. I don't know what you're saying, but you're a bad guy, and you're obviously some kind of zombie, and so we're going to get you, so watch out."
How dare you call me a... All right, what's the DC for this?
It has to make a DC 14 wisdom save.
How dare you call me a... And you see him clutch his head, and his tongue comes sticking like a foot out of his face. The wizard, the Dark Gnome wizard, turns and looks at him with an expression of shock. He's totally surprised that you guys seem to be just wailing on this guy from a distance. How much damage do you do to him?
So he's gonna get. This is since I'm 5th level, I get to roll 2d4s. He's gonna get a nice 4 points of damage there, and he has a disadvantage on the next attack roll that it makes before the end of its next turn. So its next turn, if it attacks, it has disadvantage.
Okay. So at this point, make me another
Arcana.
Yeah, make me one last Arcana check.
Eesh. 5 + 1 is 6.
Okay. You've already stabilized this thing. This was just to see if you could open it up more. You didn't fumble it. You didn't roll a 1. So right now you're just kind of holding this portal open. You can feel it. It's taking a little bit more effort now, but you're still holding it. This guy...
Like Mela will have had time to come over and do something if he wants.
Yeah, Mela, do you have any ranged attack abilities?
Only if they arms break off and fly at me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Just leap down there, which is going to be Thack's play in a minute.
Yeah, if you want to make me an acrobatics check to just jump through this portal, at this point you've widened it up to a more than a couple of feet wide. None of you guys are bigger than a medium-sized humanoid, so I'm going to say if you want to try to get him in there, you could do that.
I'll dive in.
Okay, then.
What am I rolling for that? Sorry, I just rolled.
You're going to make a acrobatics check.
Oh, acrobatics. What is that? I think I'm good at that. Yes, I'm good at that. This is the one I always want to do instead of strength. And you're like, no, strength.
So it looks like you do not have much wiggle room on either side of you. And in fact, if you don't take the robes off your upper garment, if you don't strip down to kind of your loincloth, there's a very good chance that just the cloth will billow up and hit the edges of this. Do you strip or do you do it the hard way?
Do it the hard way.
All right.
For the kids. 20. Not novel.
But a 20 nonetheless.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any way to negate falling damage?
Yes, I can use my reaction to reduce falling damage by 30.
Okay, that's good because you are in fact about 35, 40 feet up. And so that last 30 feet was what was going to give you the business. So these two guys have just sent all of their guards and all of their minions away. And now you are descending between them slowly, and you see a look of horror in their eyes. Shosh, do you want to try to jump through this thing?
Do I have a second special javelin ready at hand?
You do have one more, yes.
I'm gonna chuck it at the gnome.
Chuck it at the gnome.
Oh, hello there. That's a 22.
Yeah, that spears and skewers into him. Give me some damage on that.
Oh, I was gonna use Slayer's Prey. I'm an idiot. Okay.
It's the same. Yeah.
Order of actions.
Order of actions counts sometimes, and when
Yep.
you're in the end game, it does.
D8.
Yes.
Well, that's not bad. 7. And it's a special javelin.
All right. He is going to. Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay. This gnome. Oof, man. You see his eyes. Even from this distance, you can see little tentacles of color coming up in his eyes as his body immediately reacts to the venom. Ouch! And you see him clutch at his arms and his chest and his legs as he can feel this surging through his body.
Okay. Well, for my movement then,
You want to jump through the hole?
sure, why not?
30 feet is 3d6 of falling damage.
Yep. Can't leave Mela to go through by himself though. So what do I roll? Acrobatics?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, yikes. That's not good. That's a 7.
So as you run and jump, your shoulder kind of digs deep into the side of this portal. And Thack, Mela, are you looking at these guys as you're fighting him, or are you looking up over your shoulder?
I'm not looking over my shoulder, sir.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Thack, you're watching this. You see Tashash. You see his shoulder slam into the edge of this portal, and you see him kind of he tilts and careens off, and he gets sucked into the edge of this portal, and he disappears. You don't know where he is.
Lizard buddy,
Uh-oh.
where did you go?
Right about that time, Mela, make me a perception check.
Oh, I will perceive things. How well will I perceive them? I will perceive them poorly.
About inside the gnome.
Perception. I perceive them 10 perceptions.
Yeah, you don't notice anything. We're gonna come back around to you, Thack. The last action of this engagement is going to occur. Do you try to basically? You're holding it like this. Do you try to throw yourself forward and just jump straight in? I'll let you. You don't even have to make an athletics. You can just make an athletics check to just from a standing on your feet jump. Just do a plyo, launch yourself forward and through. Or do you pull out the blade, let the portal collapse, and try to find your way there some other way?
I definitely just saw Tashash vanish,
Yes.
and I don't know why we're fighting the guys down there. But I haven't understood why we're fighting anybody for like, all day basically, except that they've got zombie juice coming out of them. And this guy seems like he had some purple zombie aura coming out of him. So Thak is gonna, see if he can hold the thing open one-handed, tighten up some straps on his case, right? Like maybe flip the sturdy guitar case around,
Okay.
so that it's in front of him, and tighten everything up, and then say, "Well, Groomsh, protect me. I'm going in," and just try and tumble on down into there, holding onto the sword, holding onto the guitar case, everything cinched down and tightened up. The athletics check is going to be a dirty 20.
You take the case, grip it, straight arm, extend it straight through carefully. Your arm is now like quivering at the effort of the weight and everything. And then suddenly it just kind of eases up. And it becomes the easiest thing in the world. And then you kip forward, you launch. And as you're holding on to this pack, you feel it begin to slowly drop you down. So the wizard and the necromancer are now
Mary
staring.
Poppins-ing. I can't believe it. I'm Mary Poppins-ing.
The
After all
gnome
these years, finally.
and the necromancer stare at you as you Mary Poppins down with a gleaming black, purple, dripping emerald lizard acid green sword, and they see this half orc in black leather Mary Poppinsing down upon them. That is where we're gonna put a pin in it with you guys. I've got to go make a tiny person be unconscious in an appropriate place, and then I will be back to pick up with oh my word, I haven't played with them in so long, I'm forgetting their names.
Harcourt and Volas.
Volas and Harcourt, who have been incredibly patient and long-suffering and will experience boons and blessings from their DM accordingly. Everybody, we will be back in 10 minutes.
We had a lot of peeps. Like bags and bags
But
of
was
them.
it enough?
All right.
It's good to be prepared.
And we're back, ready to grip it and rip it.
Is this a beer commercial?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Are we sponsored by that beverage?
Think of the
Tonight's adventure is brought to you by the crisp, no-calorie, refreshing Sprite Zero beverage.
Is that Sprite?
And Virgil's root beer.
Spite and Virgil.
I'm drinking grapefruit juice with sulfur in it.
If this is where we're going, I got some Reese's peanut butter cups.
Peeps.
Virgil's is probably the appropriate beverage of the second part of this encounter because Harcourt
gladly accept sponsorship.
You're going to travel through hell?
Companies.
As you are hurtling through the air, make me a acrobatics check as you are suddenly spat from this frog.
16.
16 is enough. You land and slide, but maintain your footing. As all around you, you see, you've got dark vision, right?
I forgot. Do halflings have dark vision?
In the dark, with black and white vision, you see that you have been dumped into a cave, and on the roof of this cave, you see several very, very large inchworm-like creatures that appear to be about 1.5 feet in diameter and about maybe 4 feet long in length that are kind of inching over the roof of this cavern, and several of them kind of skitter away from you. And you see that you are in a room where, as you look over your shoulder, you see this frog jump back through the portal that it apparently came out of. And a few moments later, Volas, make me an acrobatics check as you also are dumped into this room.
Thank goodness it's not athletics. Natural 20.
Nice. You similarly land cat-like on your feet and glide into a fixed position next to Harcourt. Harcourt has been kind of looking around and getting the lay of the place. Harcourt, do you draw weapons seeing that you're surrounded by these creatures?
No, I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Harcourt is playing it cool and observing his surroundings. Would you like to make me a perception check, both of you?
Show enough. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking. I forgot what my perception is. There it is. 17. You do it.
Right. 9 plus.
Okay. Stuff.
Plus stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, just 9.
9 stuff team. A natural 9. Harcourt, you see that there are several small apertures in this rock, small tunnels that appear to be leading off, but there is a main tunnel going out just off to your left. So if you came into this room and the direction that you're facing away from the hole is straight ahead, then just off to your left, you see this about 5-foot diameter tube tunnel running straight ish and kind of curving off. But from down that direction, you can hear kind of a rushing wind type sound, kind of a sucking, blowing, whooshing sound.
For me, it has been several weeks since you told the directions to the place we need to go. But for Harcourt, it has only been moments. So he definitely remembers what the directions were.
That's right. I
remember going left after some big tunnel, but that's all I can recall.
That's right. So you remember that the entrance it's down that way.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I tell Volas, looks like it's down that way. I do not have night vision, but I have that little marble that I had illuminated with light.
Oh, okay, yeah. So as you hold that up, you see these creatures kind of skittering away from the light. But because you rolled a 17 on your perception, you are not flat-footed when one of these things comes launching itself from the roof of the cave at you, and you see it kind of gliding unnaturally through the air in a straight line at you. Make me a dexterity saving throw to try to just throw yourself out of the way and dodge out of the way of this thing.
27.
Absolutely. If you'd like, you can even have an attack of opportunity on this thing as it kind of unnaturally glides by you.
Hey, anything that glides by me gets attacked. Let's do it. What do I roll? I guess I'm going to attack it with my dagger.
Yeah, sure.
I guess it's one of the things I have in my hand.
Take it with the marble.
I have the marble and a dagger. I keep two hands these days. Let's see. Sorry, this is the first time I've had the dagger. I got it last time. Okay, my hit is. Oh, sorry. Where do I see what my weapons are?
In your lower right-hand corner, there's a square. There's an Actions tab and an All tab. And the first
Got it.
on the top is going to be Attack, and then Hit DC is going to be a plus something.
Got it. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. I roll a hit DC 18.
That hits. Do me some damage.
Okay. 5.
That's enough. You stab this thing, you skewer it right in the head, and it is now kind of hanging in the air, affixed to your dagger. It's just kind of floating in this unnaturally straight, rigid length. Both of you guys make me a nature check.
Okay.
Or an arcana check. Your choice.
Okie
Thank you
dokie.
for that.
Let's see. 12.
For
I
which
rolled a
one?
natural 1, but I have +7, which makes it an 8. So do I just...
Okay.
Does my mind
You got an
explode?
So with a 12 for a nature check, you're looking at this thing and you can see that it's not a worm. It's actually kind of more like something in the millipede centipede family. And you can see that there are these places where the plates seem to kind of lock together. And right now it looks like all the plates are locked together so that it's this long, flat, stiff board shape as it's now hovering seemingly weightlessly from the end of your dagger. You can turn it and move it, but it kind of resists that. And
Like a
seems-
gyroscope.
Yeah, it just kind of hangs in the air unnaturally.
Okay.
So, like a bug stick?
More like a bug board, but yes.
Sounds
I'd
good.
like to take the bug board.
You commit.
The
Hey,
dead one
Lars.
off of my dagger?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will use it against its own kindred.
You are now holding this thing. You guys.
I want to take off towards down the tunnel if we can.
You can. You absolutely can.
Not like running, just, moving
Sure.
there expeditiously.
Let's see here. Let me just note.
And I'm going to cast the light cantrip, which on my, excuse me, on the bottom little ball of the hilt of my dagger,
Okay.
which makes it just go off of the other little ball, and I have it on my dagger. So it's kind of acting as a light lantern. So-
Okay. Absolutely. Like Sting or Glamdring.
Yeah.
So as you guys travel down the tunnel, let's see here. Let me just check real quick. I'm going to look at the passive perception of Volas. Real quick. Yep. Nope. Tashash. Sorry. Harcourt, you're the one who's going to be noticing stuff. And you do. Up ahead, you spot another one of these creatures. Flat millipede things plastered up against the roof of the cave, and it appears to be in some sort of kind of ambush position, or at least it would be a good ambush position. It would have been hard to spot, kind of blending into the cave fairly flatly, but you do pick it out with your eye. And
Okay.
it is about 30 feet away up ahead.
We will be going by it or something, basically.
You will. You'll be going under it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to I have an arrow, bow and arrow here, a short bow. There we go. Which I will try to figure out. So, there we go. Okay, and I'll just shoot it if I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
17.
That hits.
Great. I do 6 damage.
Excellent. You skewer this thing similarly and pin it to the cavern, to the roof of the cave, and it falls limply down to the ground.
Okay. And let's move on. Sorry, I'm documenting my arrows.
Okay. So as you guys travel a little bit further, you come to an opening. The cave turns, and you are now standing on the ledge of a massive open tunnel tube that goes straight up and down. It appears to be about 60, 80 feet in diameter. It's a little bit difficult to tell because you see 3 distinct major kind of currents of arcane energy rushing in this sort of bizarre, almost geometric shape, but it appears to be somewhat helter-skelter, and it flows for a certain length, and then it forms a bit of a shelf, and these shelves seem to be staggered against each other, and basically it looks like these guys are flowing through each other and forming shelves between each other. So
what is guys there? You said these guys.
Sorry, these 3 major currents of arcane energy. You see purple, gold, and black.
Okay.
And these currents are swirling through the air. And on these currents, you see from time to time some of these centipede-looking things. They launch themselves off the side of the cave and glide through these currents, sometimes being sucked upwards, sometimes downwards. And as you stand and look, everybody make me a both of you make me a perception check.
Okay. Oof. 16 for him, natural 1 for me.
All right.
Oh, wait. It would have been a natural 1 if I weren't so lucky.
That's right.
Instead, I got a 13.
Okay. With a 16, Volas, you tap Harcourt on the shoulder and you point kind of over to the right and up a little bit, and you guys see what looks like a bizarre cross between a rat and a spider. It's got whiskers coming off of its face. It's got lots of eyes that look more like a rat's eyes than a spider's, but there appear to be about 16 of them on the head. Excuse me. It has 8 spider legs, but instead of just a simple rat tail, it appears to have some sort of bizarre, whiskered, arcane-looking tail that is silver. And you see it from time to time. As you stand there and watch, you see one of them use its abdomen to spin silk on its legs, and it spreads this out into kind of a canopy, and it launches itself off of the wall, and it closes that silk around one of these centipedes and then lands further down on the edge of the cave, and you see it begin chawing into the head and consuming it.
And I say to Volas, that's gross, man. I don't want to see that.
Is it what kind? Is it just standing on like bare stone or dirt or?
So you don't see any dirt. This is a giant vertical tube that terminates in darkness, both down and above.
I think we need to Battletoads this thing and ride the centipede guys to forever. What do you think, Volas? Somehow or other, we need to get up there. I heard you had some special way of getting on magical energy things or something.
Yes. Well, in my days of research, I have been studying magicalness, obviously, and I know how these work. Almost. So, I think if we jump into a current that leads upward, then we will go upward. How does that sound?
Gross. Let's do it.
Let's go.
I think that I'm very interested in not getting rat spidered, but Sorry, does this shaft also go down?
Yes, it is basically vertical, and
Okay.
it terminates in absolute void-like darkness down, and it goes up so far that you can't see up.
Okay. I'm going to cast my light cantrip again on
Okay.
one of those little marbles I have, and just chuck it in. Just see what
Okay.
watch it for a minute.
Okay. So you throw this marble in, and you see it kind of bounce off of the black current, and it gets pinged away onto, and as it hits the gold stream, you see it kind of shoot down, and you see it kind of pinging down as it goes, and somewhere down in the swirl of color and light, it disappears.
Okay. It looks like we don't want to do black to gold. That sounds like death. Also, this whole thing seems like death. I think this is not a good plan, but let's do it anyway because we're here now. And there are no more frogs.
Yeah, both of the frogs turned around and jumped back in the portal after spitting you out.
I nod to everything he says, and I said, okay, so here's my formulated plan. You are wrong, and we will take one of the other passageways.
What other passageways?
You said the, what was it, gold to silver?
Oh, yeah, the arcane energy flows.
Yes, we will take one of the other arcane energy flows, because you are right about that, but wrong about this being a bad decision.
Well, here's what I think we should do, Volas, and then we should just do it. I have a rope on me. I think we should each grab an end of the rope and jump in so that if one of us goes down and the other goes up, we kind of cancel it out. If we both go down, whatever, both go down anyway. And if we both go up, we're in good shape.
That sounds fun.
The
Yes,
power of
I agree
success
to
through
that.
positive thinking.
That's right. All right, let's do it. So I've got a 50, I think, foot rope minus 10 feet that somebody cut off in the river. So I've got about a 40-foot rope.
Okay. So at this closest kind of shelf, you see that the black layer is furthest on the outside. The purple is in the center, and the the black is on the outside, and then concentrically in is the purple, and then at the center is the gold.
If at all possible, I would like, depending on how frequent they are, I would like to attempt to jump onto the little centipede dudes as they're flying in a way that I like, and if possible, hop from centipede to centipede.
Okay. They don't appear to be jumping across so frequently that you could jump from one to the other reliably.
Okay.
The more likely scenario would be that if you did land on one and it supported your weight and kept traveling, that it would take you to the wall.
Oh, okay. That's fair. And the wall is like, maybe you didn't say this, but it's smooth and unclimbable.
It appears to be in some places somewhat climbable. Other parts of it appear to be swathed in, appear to be extremely jagged. Other parts appear to be very smooth.
Okay.
It's going to be exceptionally difficult to just climb your way up the whole way. And you're not sure that you could.
Well, Volas, what do you think?
Do they have pitons? Because I had pitons.
Well, you had pitons because Mela gave them to you.
I might have pitons, actually. Hold on. I do. I have 10
In
of
any
them.
case, you probably only have 10, which is like,
Not a lot.
who knows if that's enough
Yeah.
to get you there.
Okay. Well, I am going to think that we should. I want to chuck 50 or so of the ball bearings in at the different, just scatter them in and see if I
Sure.
can tell if some of them are tending to go up versus others going down, depending on where they hit the energies.
Yeah.
And then we should just jump in there.
Yeah.
The
Wait,
ones that hit the black
Go ahead.
seem to just kind of some kind of stick to it. Others kind of slowly fall as though stuck in molasses, though they're midair. The ones that hit the gold seem to shoot down, and the ones that hit the purple seem to shoot up.
Okay. Volas, I think we should purple this whole thing.
I agree. Purple has been my favorite color, and it has been a royal color. Let us go! And I just jump into the purple current.
How far away is the purple?
The purple's about maybe 15 feet away.
Can you jump
Okay.
15 feet?
I don't think so.
If you get a run, I'll bet you could. A running start.
Sorry, I don't know how jumping is calculated. Does anybody know?
I can look it up.
In 5e, there's like a thing. If I can run and make it, I would do that.
Yeah, we're going to say for the sake of argument.
He says you
that,
can.
and for the
Okay.
sake,
Strength score.
yeah, we're going to say for the sake of theater of the mind and the BBG approach that you guys
Great.
Heroically hurl yourselves into the abyss and make it to the purple.
Let it be. Now
Let
what?
it be.
And we're we're holding the
Go
ropes, 15 feet apart or something, so we're kind of attached, but not like it's not like tied to each other.
All right. So what are you using for this attempt? You're just throwing yourselves in?
I don't see a good option, so yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So as you guys run and jump and land in this purple current, Volas, you immediately experience gut-wrenching agony in your lower bowels and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Wow.
And get the Malox.
9.
Yeah, you vomit from the pain. So you guys are now in kind of this foamy blender of a cloud of sick as Volas goes shooting up this purple current. And Harcourt, you kind of feel yourself being tumbled and somewhat held up in the air, kind of. But Volas shoots up, and you are now being pulled kind of slowly up. But you guys are kind of flying up a little bit and then descending down. And as you are kind of dangling like a worm on the end of a hook, make me a perception check.
Yes. Okay.
6.
13.
Yeah, you notice that one of these spider things has paid attention to you and is casting one of those webs on its legs that you saw it use as an ambush to catch one of those centipedes.
Okay. I say, Volas, look out for that spider guy. And how far away is it?
It looks like it's about maybe 30 feet away.
Cool. I use my mage hand cantrip and just rip up its webs.
All right. Your hand begins shredding the webs that it is casting, and it in confusion tries to create the webs a couple more times. And this is a cantrip for you, right? You can just do it. Yeah. So as you're shredding them about as quickly as it can make them, and in frustration, it skitters away and into a hole.
Woohoo!
You do, however, also see a big one of these centipede things. This one looks to be about maybe 8 feet long and about almost 3 feet wide. You see that it is bunched up and it hurls itself at you. You're going to get an attack of opportunity on this thing because it's coming in at you in just a perfectly straight line.
At Harcourt?
Yes, at Harcourt.
Okay. So I'm making you a attack of opportunity attack?
Yeah.
There's no special thing for that, right? It's just a regular attack?
You just make your attack.
Okay. Great. I attack for 18.
Nice, that hits.
And I do 2.
Okay. You stab into this thing, and you see it's got these large pinchers, and it slams into your midsection and clamps around you with its jaws. Does a 12 hit your armor class?
It does not.
Okay. In that case, it hits, and now it is just kind of wedged around you. You're up.
Okay. Are we making net progress up or down or just staying where we are?
So far, Volas is attempting, his body is being pulled upwards violently. Volas, make me another Constitution saving throw, this time with advantage.
13.
Okay, you managed to hold your cookies. You are in searing, writhing, gut-wrenching pain, but you do have control of your faculties, and you see that your compatriot at the end of the rope below you has a very large centipede clamped around his midsection.
And I stab at the centipede again.
Well, it's Volas's turn real quick.
Oh,
before...
Okay. Could I use cause fear on the centipede? Just make it seem like there's a really, really big rat spider coming, so he just tries to run away.
And one creature. Okay, yeah. You can do that. This thing is, well, it's DC to, it's a will save, right?
Yeah. It's a wisdom save.
Okay.
DC 15.
Okay. All right. We will see what effect that had on its turn, but first it is Harcourt's turn.
Stabby, stabby.
All right.
19.
It's
3 damage.
excellent. We don't get to see whether or not this thing experienced fear for the very first time, whether its mind was awakened to the higher existential dread of its own mortality.
Because its mind was awakened to my dagger.
That's right. Its mind was awakened to steel before fear. And so this thing is perfectly rigid, clamped to your midsection, and you are now, Harcourt, being dragged slightly up. The two of you are beginning to make progress, although you can feel these jaws kind of tearing away at your clothes.
Okay. Can I cut it off? I guess we're not in initiative anymore. Can I cut it off or something? Like pry it off, or?
You can do whatever you want.
I would like to do that. To try to get it off my nice leather jacket.
Okay. So you cut it off of your leather jacket using your dagger, and the body kind of tumbles upwards and falls out of the current and flits over and hits the gold and shoots down.
Great. If it's possible and I can swing or do something on the rope, I want to try to get into the purple current.
You are still in the purple current currently, but the two of you are kind of... You're not really making sufficient vertical movement because...
I would like... Sorry, go ahead.
Volas seems to be more buoyant than you, for lack of a better term.
I would like to try to investigate or something and figure out what's causing that phenomenon.
Okay. What skill would you like to use to get to the bottom of that?
I would guess either... Let me see. Perception or Arcana. I would say I would kind of look at it from an Arcana perspective at first. Can I figure out what's going on? What's happening? Hey, Volas! Let's see if we can figure out why you're going up faster than me.
All right. I'm going to do something extremely risky. I would like to use my insanely high Arcana and my Inspiration and get advantage because of my Arcane Recovery to try and redirect the current that is keeping him down. Just to be clear, Inspiration, Advantage, and +7.
To do what?
Well, the Inspiration is going to allow you to re-roll a roll. And the Advantage is great. It lets you roll something twice. But neither the Inspiration nor the Advantage allow you to, by fiat, change the nature of the reality around you.
What we're trying to do is figure out why you're going up faster than me.
Okay.
Let's see if we can figure it out. You want to work on this together? Hey, look, there's purple flowing. A little bit of gold. Can we roll with advantage on our
Arcana check?
Yeah.
Yes, if he's got an ability that lets him do that, he can roll with advantage on his Arcana check.
Okay.
And you guys can roll me Arcana checks to figure out what's going on.
17.
7 and 9. Why am I rolling so low?
17 for me, and what's your Arcana?
+7.
16.
16.
Yeah, 17 and 16. You guys both notice that the ball bearings did not behave the same way that the millipede did. The millipede seemed to react to the current much more strongly.
Maybe it's a metal thing. I chuck a bunch of the ball bearings out.
You chuck them out and you throw them into the various different currents. And again, you do see some of them kind of generally get lifted upwards in the purple, but they kind of fall out of it fairly quickly. The gold ones shoot down. The black ones appear to kind of be slowed in their descent, but they do in fact go down.
I also wanted to see if it made me like lighter or more buoyant to have less metal.
Not particularly. I mean, so far you've thrown away ounces worth of metal, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
So
I'm gonna try changing my position a bunch and seeing if I can make my body really stiff and centipede-like or something.
Okay, make me an acrobatics check.
Indeed. 20, but not natural.
Okay, with a 20, you manage to perfectly flatten your body out and extend your fingertips, and you get your... It seems like when you get your mass spread out as much as you possibly can, you do seem to kind of lose a bit of your quote-unquote weight. You become slightly more buoyant, and Volas does appear to be slowly pulling you up, because you can feel the tug around your midsection. You can feel that he has more buoyancy than you. But you do see another one of these spiders that is about to try to spin a web.
Okay.
Which I take it, for the sake of argument, you've got mage hands, so you're able to just kind of...
Yeah.
Not today. No, cut it out.
Yeah, I want to try to figure out how to... Keep trying to work on how to get myself more buoyant. Because, hey, Volas, you have any ideas?
Well,
we're moving up slowly, but I'd like to move up faster.
I don't really have a spell that's like gonna.
Hey, real quickly, I'm gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
Just to see if magic in the arcane, blah blah blah. I mean, I did Mage Hand or whatever, but let's do. Prestidigitation and just try to make poofiness, a swirl of stuff in the purple effluvium.
Okay. Make me a either Arcana check or Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Do you want me... The same for me. Do you want me to choose which one it is?
It's your choice.
Okay. Let's do Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, wow. 19 plus 1, 20.
Okay, yeah, you cast Prestidigitation. And as you do, it's kind of like going to turn on a drinking fountain and then suddenly a almost fire hydrant, not quite that violent, but like,
garden
a
hose.
really powerful, fast, high volume gush of arcane energy is about to flow through you, and you slam your mind shut and cut yourself off from this and manage to only draw the normal amount of arcane energy. And you do, in fact, pull it off. But it leaves you with your heart racing and a sense of, it's like watching a piano crash to the ground right next to you. And in a moment, you realize the fragility of your mortality. As this vast amount of power just goes rushing around and by you.
Hey, Volas, any ideas? I'm hanging on here by a hempen rope.
I scratch my head and a light bulb sort of appears above me, and I would like to cast Earth Tremor on the closest piece of ground, just trying to break a chunk off so that it floats away. But the real effect that I was going for is because I used my advantage thing, now my wild magic thing is active. So hopefully that will help as well.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, so Earth Tremor at wherever, The DC is a dexterity 15 if that's gonna do anything, and I will roll for the
wild magic.
Yeah, the wild magic.
Okay.
I got a 19 for the wild magic.
Okay.
So your strategy here, Volas, is hey Volas. It looks like your strategy is to try random things.
Yeah.
All right,
basically.
that sounds great.
Yeah. And
my
as he
life
does
is in your
that,
hands.
as he does that, you
Sure
guys see a translucent version of Harcourt kind of spasm and convulse forward out of Harcourt's body, and you see it kind of coalesce into the rope and go flying up the rope and flies up into Volas. And
That worked.
Harcourt, you lose 3 points of energy. And Volas, congratulations, you gained 3 temporary hit points of necrotic energy.
Woo!
What is energy?
Life. Hit
Oh,
points.
okay, great. Yep, good.
So Harcourt, you lose 3. Volas, you gain 3.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
I climb the rope and try to stand on Volas.
All right. Make me a strength check to climb the rope.
17. Wow, that could have been much worse. I have a negative strength.
Yeah. So you climb up the rope and climb up on top of Volas, and the moment you do, the two of you go shooting upwards up this purple current, and you find yourselves reaching kind of the crescendo of this current, and it appears like it's about to peak, and you can see now on the shelf around you, to the left and to the right, you see a shelf of the black energy and a shelf of the gold, of the black current and the gold current.
I think we should avoid that gold. Well, wait a minute. Yes, I think we should avoid that gold current. We try to avoid the gold current.
And you guys go careening downwards and begin shooting downwards down this purple current. As you go flying downwards, you can see a shelf of the black and a shelf of the gold.
Let's ride the purple back up again.
I agree.
So you guys go shooting back up, and at the top of this arc, you see a shelf of the black and a shelf of the gold.
Let's jump onto black.
I agree.
And we jump onto black.
You can't really jump, but you guys can try to make an acrobatics check to try to surf, basically.
Sure.
I'm going to say that because normally you would have disadvantage at this, but because the two of you are trying to do it together, I'm going to say you guys can make a straight, flat acrobatics check, but either one of you can choose to make it.
Do you want to do your acrobatics check? Or do you
Rolled a
want...
natural 20.
It was, okay. Still tumbling. But you're not wrong. Just to be clear, I'm surfing on Volas.
Yes, you are surfing on him.
Who do you want to do the acrobatics check?
I don't have the best acrobatics.
I have a slightly better one.
You have a slightly better one.
Okay, let's see what happens.
So Volas, you go stiff and try to just let Harcourt do the steering.
11.
Harcourt, 11. You go kind of generally careening towards the black, and you guys both kind of experience this extremely unpleasant sense of being slowly desiccated, dried out. You feel like you've been marching under the 120-degree heat without any sunscreen or anything for like 8 hours without drinking any water. Each of you takes 3 points of necrotic damage.
Well, there go my temporary hit points.
And Harcourt, you are now down a net of 6, I believe.
Yep.
But you guys are riding this up very steadily and mechanically. And as you get up, you can see kind of a place where the purple current is broadening out, and the gold and the black.
Okay, great. And we're on the black right now, right?
Correct.
Is there any way to? Is there like? Can we get out of the shaft? Is it the end of the shaft or still further
No,
up?
it's still going up.
Do you want to
go
try to
up.
hop back on the purple?
Yeah. Let's hop back onto
Let's
the
give it a whirl.
All right, so you guys jump onto the purple current. You go shooting down
It
at
happens.
speed. And as you go flying down, you can see the black, the purple, and the gold.
Back to the black.
Maybe. Yeah.
Let's go to the black.
This is all guesswork.
Okay, you guys careen over into the black, and both of you are blasted with 6 hit points of necrotic damage, but you do rise back up.
Okay.
They're getting pretty good at this surfing. At this
Keep
point.
planking, Volas. Keep planking.
You guys are now, you can see a shelf of the purple, the gold, and the black.
Let's try the gold.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Make me a acrobatics check to try to steer into the gold.
23.
That's perfect. You guys, you carve off the edge of the current and land yourselves and achieve a kind of a slow spiral going up the gold. As you guys get to the top, you can see a shelf of the gold, the purple, and the black.
I don't know which way to go.
From gold to back to purple?
I assume so. Let's do it.
Make me an acrobatics check.
All right, trusty surfboard, surf me on.
You can do this with advantage because you guys have kind of hit a groove and you've successfully navigated. So you're going to make it with advantage on this one.
28.
Nice. You grab up to the next purple, and at this point, you hit it, and you hit it at speed, and you find yourselves shooting upwards up this purple. You find a way to kind of carve around the edge of it, and you begin picking up more and more speed, and eventually you hit this one point where you just shoot at an incredible speed straight up. You're flying through the currents. The black and gold and purple are all kind of streaming by you, but everything is kind of largely purple, this vein that you're in. And you guys come flying up, and you can see that you are about to head for an aperture. You can either go into straight in down the middle of this hole that you're shooting towards, or you can shoot off to the side of the hole and you can surf around.
What do you think? Hole coming. What do you want to do?
4.
No hole. Let's avoid.
Go around the edge.
Okay. So as you guys make me an acrobatics check to try to surf Volast around the hole.
With advantage or anything?
With advantage.
Okay. That'll be 24.
Well,
24. You guys come surfing around the edge of it, and as you do, you see both of you make me perception checks.
12.
2.
In fairness, he's a surfboard right now.
All right, 12.
I'm probably standing on his face.
The Shosh.
Yes.
Make me a perception check.
Oh dear. Okay. That is a 12.
Okay. Both of you managed a low success, but by your efforts combined, the two of you, Harcourt, you and Tashash, lock eyes on opposite sides of this sphere that you and Tashash are now surfing around.
Volas.
And Tashash, Harcourt, you guys see Volast, Harcourt, the two of you see that you are surfing on the outside of a sphere in a large cavern. Harcourt, you notice out of the corner of your eye, floating down in the air, the figure of Thak holding on to his briefcase with his giant green sword gleaming out in the air, and you see him yelling at somebody. You can't see who. It's obscured by this giant sphere. But you can see Tashash tumbling around inside of this sphere that you guys are outside of. He's basically on the top of it. So you guys shot around the mouth of it at the bottom. You've come around to the top, and you see that you're about to go right past Tashash. And he is what appears to be about maybe 3 feet away through this kind of layer of currents.
I say, lizard! And I try to reach out and grab him.
Okay.
Because we have control of ourselves right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make me a sleight of hand check to try to dip your hand into this, through this sphere and grab him.
17.
Make me an Arcana check to go with that.
Natural 20.
All right.
Plus 7. 27.
27.
27.
You see Harcourt is about to just dip his hand in, and you say, "Wait for the purple!" And sure enough, you see that there is kind of a swath in this sea of alternating, swirling currents. You see that there's a swath of purple that you can stick your hand through. And Harcourt, you're able to jam your hand straight through the purple current that you guys are surfing. And you do, in fact, grab him by the wrist. Tashash, make me a reflex saving throw to see if you can grab onto him as well. Did I say
Dex save?
Yeah, dex save. Sorry, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, hey. That's a timely 22.
Nice. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so you grab onto Harcourt and Tashash, and now you are kind of being dragged up and out of this sphere that you were kind of tumbling around like a... You were up at the top of the sphere, just tumbling and tumbling and tumbling. You have been, for the last several seconds, being whipped around like a rag doll in a washing machine. You are dizzy, you're confused, and you just see Harcourt go flying by you, and you just, with lightning lizard brain speed, reach out and grab a hold of him, and you feel yourself getting yanked out the other side of this. And now, Harcourt, I need you to make me with disadvantage. What's that?
Oh, no, go ahead.
With disadvantage, make me a check to try to ride your compatriot Volas on the outside of this sphere, because you now have this giant 180-pound sea anchor going up to the works for you.
A what check?
Acrobatics check to try to surf your way down.
All right. So, Tashash, I just teen wolfed over to you. I'm going to try to get us going here. A disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
That would have been a 1 if I weren't so lucky.
A lot of ones, man.
Sometimes. Okay. 18.
Excellent. That is good enough. The two of you are now coming around the top side of the sphere, and you are headed fairly close to, it looks like you're going to come within about 10 feet of the ground. Otherwise, you can keep trying to surf just around this thing on the outside of it.
I'm ready to
Am
get
I
off.
free?
What's that?
Am I free of this thing?
You are now being dragged along behind. Have you ever gone skiing, jet skiing? Skiing on the water skiing. That's the word that I'm looking for. That's so complicated.
No.
Have you ever gone water skiing and lost your skis but tried to hold on to the rope?
Nope.
It's a very
now
special
you have.
experience.
Now
Now you have. You're kind of simultaneously sometimes diving down into the stream and being buffeted violently, and other times you're skittering off of it and your stomach is flying up into your mouth because you feel like you're about to go flying off. So fortunately, Harcourt is kind of holding on to you and pulling you down when you go skipping up, and is expertly maneuvering the three of you, in spite of the fact that he's the smallest of the three.
I'm going to try to get us to the ground, all three of us, and
stick the dismount. Make me an acrobatics check with disadvantage.
All right. Oops. 22.
22.
That's great.
With surprising grace, the three of you come smoothly sliding. You shoot off at the last second, and you manage to kind of curve it where you shoot straight outwards instead of slamming down into the ground, instead of shooting straight out 30 feet up in the air or angling up and then coming down. You manage to just kind of shoot straight out parallel to the ground. Now, anybody who wants to make me an acrobatics check, not with disadvantage or anything, just a straight acrobatics check, you can try to maintain your verticalness to prevent going.
I'll do that. Hey,
25.
17.
Say that again.
17.
17.
I got a 9.
I got a 25.
Those are all sufficient. You guys all land on your feet, and the three of you see Thack alighting to his feet around about the same second, and you see Mela flexing his fists, and all of you are now surrounding basically this necromancer and this wizard who are both wounded and are staring at you with horror in their eyes. And that is where we will pick up next week for the conclusion. What's that?
Tashash looks down at Harcourt. He's still got him by the hand, and he blinks and shakes his head and says, "I caught the wrong bugbear."
And Thack looks at Harcourt and Volos and says, "Hey, took you long enough, weirdos."
And Harcourt casts prestidigitation to clean the vomit spray off of his face and everything.
In common, the wizard looks at all of you and says, "Who are you people?"
Great.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure having you join us for episode 12 of the Starfall Collective. Next week will most likely be the final episode of this arc, although I am excited to report that I will be succeeded successfully, I'm sure, by my co-author, co-leader, co-GM, Matthew Talamini for season 2. So you've got more to look forward to. Until next week, folks, stay safe, be well, and remember, failure is beautiful too.